Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chanel B. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back, baby. So I am in my little office space that is in my apartment. Anyways, that's not what you're here for. I haven't really seen this play out a lot in 2024, but y'all remember during the panoramic time, y'all know what I'm talking about. Everybody like around that 2000, 2022, 2023 even, when everyone was like, oh, if you're not having any fulfillment, your job is stressing you out, you can go and like quit your job and start your dream life and create your own business. It's your job to become an influencer, a content creator. Y'all know what phase I'm talking about. Y'all already know. And let me just be the first to say, I am all for people creating their dream life, starting their dream business, and becoming this big time influencer and content creator. However, I will say that I'm also the first one to say, quitting your job with no backup plan, with not a whole bunch of savings and any other income coming in is just not wise. I have just experienced my very first layoff with my company. We are a startup tech company and we were just bought out by a much global software tech company. This is public information anyways. Due to that acquisition, we had to cut back about 20 to 30% of our employees because a lot of the titles that we carry, they also carry. So there was a lot of titles and a lot of jobs that were overlapping, and they're kind of like, hey, we're gonna keep our people, but we're gonna like get rid of your people. And so that's exactly what they did. A bunch of us were laid off. Fortunately enough for me, I was not laid off. Now, I'm gonna be very candid with you guys. I make a lot of money on content creation, okay? That is YouTube, affiliates, brand deals, partnerships, everything. However, what a lot of content creators aren't as open about is that sometimes that money is up and down. Some content creators have gotten their pay to where it's consistent. The reality is that it's not like that for everybody, right? So I love my content creation as a side hustle. Right now, there is no better time than to have a high-paying job in the tech field and to also create your brand outside of your 9 to 5.
But you're a millionaire now, yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Every millionaire has at least 7 streams of income. Mm-hmm. One of those streams of income is earned income. Yep. That's what you get from your 9 to 5. Yep. So I had rental income, yep, right? I had business income. Mm-hmm. Why get rid of my earned income? It's like, dog, that's still part of the 7 streams of income. Yeah. So I never felt like I had to leave my 9 to 5. And I think that's where people make mistakes. You get a little success outside of your 9 to 5, and then you're like, okay, let me quit. Right. But what you've done is, you got your 9 to 5, right? That's step 1. Mm-hmm. You went and started a business, step 2. You invest in real estate, step 3. Mm-hmm. You get rid of your 9 to 5, now you're back a step.
And this is why it's so important to build a life outside of work, build finances and build an income, build a brand outside of work. Because if I mean, knock on wood, thank you, Lord, if I were to ever be let go from a job, at this moment, I wouldn't go into such a frenzy because I know how to make money outside of my job. This is something that you guys really have to focus on for the next 6 months, the last 6 months. You really have to focus on how is it that I can build income, build my brand outside of my 9 to 5. People are talking about having a hard time finding work.
Y'all, the job market is so bad right now. I don't think people understand. Like, throughout my search for a new job, I just couldn't help but notice that most of the remote, first of all, there's not many remote opportunities out there anymore. Second of all, the opportunities that are remote are lowball ass salaries. And like, one thing I peeped is, 1, most of these roles are contracts, not full-time salary positions. And 2, it's almost like they're offering the role as a remote position in exchange for a lowball ass salary. I think employers know just how desperate people are for a remote job and how much they're valued in today's world, that they take advantage and offer these lowball ass salaries in exchange for the position being remote. And it's sad because a lot of people are jobless and a lot of people really want a job, and life is already so hard as it is. Like, nobody wants to go into the office. So even though I would like to say know your worth and don't accept these lowball ass salaries, beggars can't be choosers, honestly, because it's already hard enough to find a job right now. So if you have a job and it happens to be remote, keep it. If you're getting paid decently, keep it. You know, if you're not completely and utterly miserable, keep your job. Like, if you don't have a fallback plan, just stick with the stability that you have, because it's real ugly out there.
And can I just tell you, you guys know from previous videos, I was talking about how in downtown Minneapolis, I haven't been really having the best experience. Things have changed. I have given the city I've given them a little more of a chance, and things are much better. You know, I definitely wouldn't stay here permanently, but things have been much better than what it was when I first got here. I will say that. From my last videos, I've been looking for like work outside of Minneapolis, more specifically remote work, because I don't want to move anymore based off of where I'm working, but I would like to be more flexible. And the only way I can be more flexible is if I have a remote job. I haven't personally been having issues with securing a job. Now, I have been on countless interviews, I'll tell you that. I've been on countless interviews, and I've actually had to turn down job offerings. I am so worried about the job market, because I'm hearing people, I'm seeing people, and people are not just on these platforms just lying, and people are really out here struggling. Even when I call my mom and I'm asking her, like, how are things going on back at home in Miami? And she's like, girl, people here are struggling. The homeless rate in Miami has gone up significantly. Elderly people are homeless. And I'm like, oh my freaking God.
Here's a life lesson for you all. You've had an idea for an app or a company and you want to do it full time. Do not quit your job. My name's Molly, and a year ago I quit my job to do exactly that. The issue was I hadn't saved enough and I didn't have enough of a plan. So I burnt through my savings pretty quickly without really getting anywhere, and I had a pretty touch and go 12 months keeping the lights on. So if I had my time again, I would not have quit my job. In fact, I spent the first 3 months doing stuff that I could easily have done alongside a full-time job. This included validating my idea and starting a podcast, reaching out to people, creating a brand, all these things that actually took a lot of time waiting on people to get back to me to respond. And all the while my savings were depleting, and I was getting sadder and sadder and stressed. If I had my time again, I would continue working while starting a podcast or other project to build my reputation, network and credibility, an Instagram or TikTok to build a community, and a prototype to test my validation. Hope this helps. Do not quit your job.
Y'all, if you don't listen to anything else I've said, please don't quit your job. I know you may be stressed out. I know you may feel like you're overworked. Take some PTO days off. You don't get no brownie points, or you don't get no extra kudos for not using your PTO. You need to use your PTO. That is what it is there for. If you need to take you a couple days off every so often, let's say you dedicate 3 days a month, 2 or 3 days a month to you just taking like breaks away from work, girl, you better do it. Even though I was going through what I was going through my job, in my heart, I always told y'all I love my job. I love what I do. I never felt like I wanted to just throw the towel in when it came to my job, because I know better, baby. I'm an adult and I'm many, many miles away from home. No, you better make it work. And can I just tell you, you have to have that mindset. Like, I literally saw this one guy, he works in like the tech field, and he makes a lot of money. He makes like multiple 6 figures. And he was saying, listen, I don't give a damn. They gonna have to, if my job want me to go, they gonna have to like get a bulldozer and come get me up out of this bitch. I ain't leaving. And that's really the bulletproof mindset that you have to have in this economy. And right now, if you're young, if you're single, and when I say single, boyfriend included, because that's, you still single by law. If you young, you single, and especially if you don't have no kids, babes, look, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You need to be working. Everybody's gonna tell you, have your dream life, quit your job, open up your business and do this. I'm not that friend. If you needed some type of confirmation on whether or not you should be staying at your job, if you should be leaving your job, let this be the confirmation. If them people aren't deliberately hurting you, they're not being violent towards you, mind your business. Take your days off right now. Put your PTO in today. Take a few days off. Do a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday so you can have a long weekend. And have some time to yourself. Recalibrate. Do some journaling. Write down a plan of action. Because I'm okay with you leaving your job. What I'm not okay with is you leaving your job and not having any backup. That's when it's a problem. We are too big and too grown with our big grown ages to not have any income, to be asking people for money, everybody needs help sometimes. Everybody needs assistance. I've been there. However, when you got a job that is paying your bills and you're able to feed yourself, you're going to have to stick it out until you find something better. Y'all, going back to some of the job offers that I've had, I probably had about 3 job offers, and I had to decline all 3 of them because they were not paying a suitable amount of money. Look at that. These are all tech companies who are not paying well. So that goes to show you, even in tech, you got some companies who you be like, no, that salary isn't enough. That base pay isn't enough. That commission, them bonuses, no, those aren't enough. Like, that's not enough. At this point in time, you need to really reevaluate and reassess some things in your life. Some shit ain't that deep. That's what I had to learn being up here with the little Karen that I had a situation with. Some shit ain't worth it. Ain't worth your time. And if you feel that strongly about it, create a plan of action. Give yourself 3-6 months to go hard on some job applications. Some things aren't worth it. Think about those moments when you didn't have a job and you didn't have proper income coming in and you could not pay your bills. You couldn't pay your rent. You couldn't pay your lights. You couldn't pay your water. I was watching Tyler Perry on his Instagram. He posted how he literally used to stay in this little small studio apartment, right? And he said he used to hear the man knocking. He used to hear the man knocking on everybody's door to come by and collect rent. He said he would sit in his twin-size bed, and y'all know Tyler Perry is big. He would sit in his twin-size bed, quiet in his bed like this, because he knew the man was gonna come knock on his door. And the man will come and knock on his door real hard, and he would have to be in the bed like quiet. I haven't been in that exact situation, but I kind of have, where there were moments I could not pay rent. I couldn't make my rent. And I would be embarrassed. Like, say for instance, you can't pay your rent, but let's say something happens to your sink or your toilet in your bathroom. You gotta call maintenance. Put a maintenance request. That's embarrassing. You know, especially let's say, for instance, that it's an emergency. Now you got to call down to the office and say, hey, my toilet is flooding. And even though you're still a resident there, you're just late on your rent, it makes you feel bad. It makes you feel inadequate. there were many years I felt like a child. Like I still felt like a kid. My dad will have to pay my rent. My dad will have to do this. Like my dad had to foot me and spot me in so many areas of my life. And it never made me feel like a woman. I never felt like a woman. When I moved to Minnesota, that's why I had to have a very serious talk with myself. Like, yeah, I did a video with y'all, but I had to have an internal talk with myself and say, what she's doing is not worth it. It's not worth you losing this. You understand what I'm saying? So I said all that to say, do not put yourself in a situation that you could avoid. You don't have to live in your car to do well on YouTube. Live on someone's couch to blow up on TikTok. Living in a car, in a park, on the beach. Like, you don't have to be homeless. You don't have to go without food. Like, you don't have to do these things in order to do well in the areas that you dream to do well. If you want to be a famous TikToker, if you want to be a big time YouTuber, I love that. I love that. And I think you should do that. However, there is order in everything. There's a time and place for everything. And y'all, it is nothing, listen to me when I say, ain't nothing nice about it. Being homeless, being hungry, not having clothes to put on your back, food to put in your mouth, water to bathe. There are people on the street right now who did not have a choice, who didn't have a choice. You have a choice. Stay at your job. Do not quit your job. Do not let these people, if you gonna be out of your job, they're gonna have to push you out. Like, they're gonna have to give you walking papers with some severance pay. Do not quit your job. Do not quit your job. Do not quit your job. You need to live. Work on your dream before your 9 to 5 starts. If you really want that dream, wake up at 5 in the morning. Work it from 5 to 8. Get ready for work from 8 to 9. And be at work 9 to 5. And then if you feel like you need to do a little more work, 6 to 9, 6 to 10. That's how you build a business. That is how you build up your content. That is how you build up your subscribers and your followers and everything, so that you can become a content creator full time. And you'll know when you can quit your job. You'll know. I always tell myself, baby, if I can make X amount of dollars, I always say this. If I can make, I have this number in my head, if I can make X amount of dollars every month for 6 to 9 months consistently, okay, now I can quit my job. And even then, I'm still gonna be looking like multiple streams of income. A 9 to 5 is a stream of income. YouTube is a stream of income. Affiliate links is a stream of income. Brand deals and paid partnerships, that's a stream of income. Multiple streams of income. There is nothing wrong with working a job. Work a good one. Find you a good one, a high-paying one, so that when it's BS at your job, you're like, you know what? The pay too good. Goodbye. I'm going to be here. Unless I find something that's really good, that's remote, I'm going to be here. And that's the mindset, the bulletproof mindset that you need to have. Ain't nobody going to stop me from making my bag. Nobody. I hope this video was helpful to someone. And until next time, y'all, I'll see y'all later. Bye.